welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much to my subscribers. Welcome newcomers. I hope you like what you see, and if so, be part of this journey with us. And I want to thank every single one of you that have been with me from the start and that give me the thumbs up and comment and share my videos. Thank you so much. I am grateful to every single one of you. I also would like to mention right up top, there's 3 little buttons. You can click there, slow down the video to the speed you'd like, and there is the CC closed caption. Everything I will be calling out the stitch will be written down here, so it makes it easier for you to pause and take notes. I also would like to mention in the description box, there is the link to the slow down the video in case you don't know how to do it. You could just click there. It's a 2-minute video, and you can see how it's done. It's very simple and easy, not complicated at all. I also would like to ask you to please, if you like the video, to give those thumbs up for especially newcomers that you're new to the channel. It helps the channel to circulate worldwide, and it helps other people to recognize and become members. Thank you so much for that. I also would like to mention for the people that have extra yarn, extra thread, if you want to give a helping hand to the women in need, desperately in need for it, please reach out to me either through Instagram, TikTok, my Facebook. I have a Facebook crochet group. You can become a member part of it as long as you have a profile on your Facebook. You're more than welcome to request and join in our group. We're a beautiful little group growing each day. I also have a crochet page. You can follow me there. And you can message me on Instagram and help to donate. There's also a $ below the video. You can donate through there whatever you feel like to help out the women. Or in the description box, there's my PayPal account. You can do, give it through there too, so I can buy the thread and send them out to them. And we are grateful and humble, very much so, for your kindness and your good heart. So please do help, okay? So we are going to get started. I usually use hook 3.5 or a 3, a small one for tucking in loose ends, and a pair of scissors. And 99.9% my thread is 100% cotton thread. It's a 4-ply, same thing as Aunt Lydia, number 3. So we're going to get started, everyone. Thank you so much again for being part of this journey with me. Hey everyone, so today we're going to create a runner but with hearts. I've been requested to do hearts doily, which I already have I think 2 or 3 in my playlist as plate mats, but we're going to create a runner with the hearts. Now I have done already rugs with a 6-ply or 8-ply, the same thing, but instead of a runner, because this is a 4-ply, it was 6 to an 8. Now, if you can't find the 6 to an 8 thread, you can use the macrame thread, which is thick also, and they do have the macrame thread that is equivalent. It's a 5, close to a 6. Those are perfect for rugs, people, so you don't have to break your head looking for thread if you can't find the same size. This is a 4-ply 100% cotton thread. I'll be using hook 3.5 and sometimes a 3. I alternate in between time to time just to keep things tidy up. And a small one to tuck in loose ends, and of course a pair of scissors. Please don't forget to give a thumbs up on the video, and we're going to get started. Thank you so much, everybody. So the first thing you want to do, let me just cut a little bit of the lighting on here so it doesn't become too bright. Slip stitch knot. Always leave a little bit of cord to tuck in so nothing comes apart. You don't need to leave much, but you got to leave always a little bit no matter which project you're doing. We're going to do 57 chain stitch, okay? And I suggest that when you're doing a chain stitch like this for any runner or for any rug or for anything that you're doing like a square and it's just chains, use a hook bigger than your normal size so the holes can be a little bit bigger when you're coming back to work on them, so it doesn't bend like a U shape or yeah, U shape would be more like, or half moon, because if you use a thin one and then you know, to come back. Your stitch is too tight and it's going to start to bend. So it's always perfect to use a hook higher and also give it loosage. Don't tighten up too much your stitch so you can work comfortably on your way back to it. So 57 chain stitch. Okay, so I've done my 57 chain stitch. I'm going to come back counting not the one on the hook, but the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on my 7th one. And make sure you grab both loops, not just one, because if you grab only one loop, it's going to pull too much on it. So go right in the center. There's those 2 little loops there. Okay, on the next space, as you can see, we have this loop here, and we have this one. So go right in between them, so you can grab both loops. And we're going to create groups of 3 double crochet. So now I have my 3 double crochet, chain 2. I'm going to skip 1, 2 on my 3rd one. Again, create groups of 3 double crochet. And we're going to do this all the way to the end. Coming to the end, we're going to have the same thing, a square, like we started at the end. I'll meet you at the end. You're supposed to have 10 groups of 3. Okay, everyone, so I have my 10 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm just going to do my 2 chain. And skip that 1, 2, and come in the 3rd one, which we're right at the end. So we have 10 groups of 3 double crochet and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 squares. We're going to turn our work 1, 2, 3. So this will be row 2. Okay, we don't count the chain as a row because it's just a beginning foundation. Create chain 3 and 2 inside, 2 chain into the next square. So we're building those groups again. We're going to do 5 and then I'll come back to you after my 5th. So I've done my 5 groups of 3 double crochet, my chain 2, and on my 6th one here I'm going to do 4 double crochets. This is the start of the heart. Okay, so 4 double crochets on your 6th place, and then we continue again to create the groups of 3. So whatever we're doing on one side, we have to do it on the other side the same way. Okay, so this is the only time that has 4 is the center. This is the center, the beginning of the heart. We're going to continue all the way to the end. I'll meet you at the end. So now, remember I said this is the middle, the beginning of the heart. There's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to create our 5th. That means 2 inside of the last square. And 1 on the 3rd chain here. Right on it. Okay, so we can have a nice straight line. Now the good thing about this pattern is you can go as big as you like as far as length, or as small as one motive heart only. So it depends how many hearts you would like to have. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. For some of you that your stitch is extremely tight, do a 5 chain. And we're going to come back and create the 3 double crochet groups. Always chain 2, separation in between them, into the next space, create our 3 double crochets again, and I'll meet you here before the 4 double crochets. So now we have only 4 groups of 3 double crochets. I'm coming in where I have the 4 double crochets, 2 inside of the space only. We're going to start to do an increase on the center here of the beginning of the heart. 1 double crochet on top of the double crochet from the previous row. We are on row 3, 1 per space. Now we're supposed to have 8 double crochets and 2 double crochets here on this space of this square. So we started with 4, we added 2 here and 2 there. Gives us a total of 8. We're going to continue to do the 2 chain and do our 4 groups on this side and chain 4 or 5 for some of you going up to row 4. I'll meet you there. So we have our 4 double our groups of 3 double crochet on this side and chain 2, and come on the 3rd chain here of your double crochet and do a double crochet. I was saying do a chain 4, but mistaken. Now we're going to do a chain 4 going up. Not chain 4, sorry. 1, 2, 3. 3 double crochet, and we're going to continue to create those groups of 3 double crochet. So chain 3, 2 inside, chain 2, create the groups again. This is very, very easy, very simple, fast, and economic. Now we're going to come here where we have, let me lower the lighting, good God, with this camera stuff, right? We're going to come in the center here, we're going to add 2 here again and 2 here at the end, and we're going to do double crochet over double crochet. So very simple. So we had 8, now we'll have 12, okay? Let's try to lower here a bit. I want it too dark either. Okay, so we're going to add the 2 in here and 1 per space. You're going to have your total of your 12 double crochets. Always make sure that you grab in the center, that you grab both stitches there, you know, your loops. You don't want to grab only one. It's going to pull too much. Doesn't look pretty. Shout out to my girl Lily Irwin. You're doing a fantastic job, my girl. Beautiful patterns, and I love the color choices that you've been choosing. Beautiful work. Your stitches, gorgeous. Okay, so 2 on this side, 2 on the other, and then again we create our groups of 3 double crochet. And of course, sending out much hugs to every single one of you, beautiful ladies, my beautiful queens. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for all your support. Okay, I'll meet you at the end. So coming to the end, you're going to do inside of the space your 2, and then 1, 2 on the 3rd chain, your double crochet, because we want to keep that straight line going on there, okay? So I'll meet you here, because it's always a repeat now, chain 4 and then creating your blockage. I'll meet you here on the center again. So we are on row 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 in the center here, and this will be the same. We're just doing the increases, and now we'll have 16 double crochet. We're doing 1 per space. For some of you that are doing my patterns that I know of as a fact, and you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. It does help the channel, and it's free. Just a click of a button. Help out us creators to grow as one big family. It does not hurt. You guys like my patterns. You guys create them. Everything is for free. The least you can do out of respect is just subscribe, right? Okay, so we're going to repeat, and I'll meet you in the next row. So I've closed in, so now at this point we have 3 groups on one side and 3 on the other, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, going into row 6. So I did my 2 chain and I did my double crochet on the last double crochet here. So row 6 is no different. We're going to continue 1, 2, 3, create your 2 double crochets inside of the space, chain 2, and create your groups again of 3 double crochet, just like that, and I'll meet you here. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing again, 2 double crochet and 1 per space. So we're going to have 20 double crochets. I'll meet you on the next row once we've turned around, and I'll meet you here again, okay, because it's just a repeat now. So we are in row 7, and we are left with 2 groups here only, and we're going to double crochet, continue to do the same thing. Now we're going to have 24 double crochet on this row 7 here on the center of the heart. Okay, so I'll meet you on the other side, row 8, when we get to the center here again. Okay, so we are on row 8, and row 8 we also have 2 little groups of 3. Now chain 2. It's going to change up now. On my last double crochet here of this group, we're going to do a little square. Chain 2 again, and we're coming on top. Let me just check. Yes, couldn't remember for the life of me. So we're going to do again the 24 double crochets exactly like row 7. So we're just doing double crochet over double crochet. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end of the double crochets. So I've reached the end of the double crochet, so I have my 24 double crochet. So join your 24 double crochets, chain 2, we're going to come into the first one and do exactly like we did here, the 2 squares, chain 2, and coming in doing our group. Chain 2, and at the end creating 2 double crochets inside of the little square and 1 on the double crochet on the 3rd space. So we have the same thing as we started. Turn around. 1, 2, 3, 4. Into the next space, create your group. Chain 2. Into the next space, create your group. So we're increasing again on the groups. Try to cut down a bit of the lighting here. Chain 2. We're going to come right on top of the double crochet, just like that. Okay, and now we're going to count 11 double crochets. We're going to try to make that center of the heart already so it can start taking shape. So we're going to count 11 double crochets. So we have 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, chain 2. We're going to skip 1, 2. On your 3rd space, we're going to create the 11 double crochets again. Remember what I told you, what we do on one side, we have to do on the other side, so the pattern can balance out, right? Okay, so going into row 10, let me just cut down a bit of the lighting here. So I've turned around on row 9, did 2. I'm going to do one more group, so chain 2. Chain 2. I'm going to skip 1, 2, coming into the third one, and I'm going to do 6 double crochets. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Chain 2. I'm going to come directly inside of the middle here of the heart, and I'm going to start my second heart by adding already 4 double crochets. So you have 1, 2, and 3. You're going directly in, and then of course chain 2, and you do the same 1, 2, and 3. Come into your fourth one, because we have to do the same thing. 1, 2, 3. This is the fourth one, and create your 6 double crochets. And that leaves us 2 out at the end, exactly like we skipped the 2 at the beginning. Chain 2, and into the square, and create your groups of 3 double crochet. Chain 2, I'll meet you at the end. So row 11, I have 3. Remember what I said, we are going to start to increase. So chain 2, I'm going to skip 1, 2. On my third one, I'm doing a double crochet, next space, double crochet. So we're going to have 2 double crochets here. Chain 2, and I'm coming right in the center and doing 2 double crochets, and then 1 per space on top of the 4 double crochets. So this is like starting at the beginning here, doing the 8 double crochets. We're pretty much starting the second heart here. Okay, so we're having 8 double crochets and 2 in this space here. Okay, and we're going to repeat the same thing on this side. 2 chain and skip 1, 2 on your third one, double crochet, and another double crochet. Chain 2 into the space and create our groups of double crochet. Chain 2, and we continue on. Okay, so we are in row 12. We're going to continue here the same thing as we have here. So it's just going to be a repeat now. So all we're going to do now is blockage. All these little blocks, 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and create your 2 double crochet in here. We are going to have 12 double crochets total, exactly how we had started on the first heart. So if you need to put a marker from here on and follow each row, because now it will be a repeat for the length you want to be creating these hearts, will be exactly the same way. So now we have our 12 double crochets. Okay, now if you need to, so we are here, if you need to put a marker, or if you have a piece of thread, if you don't have markers, because I didn't have markers for the longest time. Thank you, Barbara. I can never thank you enough. All you have to do is put a little marker and follow through for the length that you would like. Okay, I'm going to do just another row or two and record, and you guys can go to the length you want. I don't know yet how many rows I am going to do, or how many hearts I should say. You can do 2 hearts, you can do 3, you can do 4, 5, 6, depending, like I said, if you're doing rug, then you know, on the size of rug. You can do this for bedroom, you can do this for bathroom, for the kitchen, depending upon the colors you use, of course, to match your stuff. So it's just a repeat now of these little blockage. So you turn around, and you know now that you want to do 1, 2, 3 on your 4th row here, the hearts. So you'll have 16, and then it's just a repeat. Okay, so I'm going to continue on again. Put 2 inside of here, 2 there. You just keep increasing. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Row 13. So 2 inside of the space and 1 per space. So we'll have 16 double crochets, exactly like we did on our first heart. This is pretty much easy to create. All you have to do is, like I said, put a marker, or if you don't have one, use a piece of thread or a bobby pin or something, you know, whatever you're used to putting on there. And just keep following the row, or just rewind. You could also slow down the video. You can pause and you can follow through with the video all the way to the length that you'd like. Okay, there's no point of me now keep recording the same thing, because it's just a repeat of the rows. Okay, so once you finish doing your 24, then you know you have to start cutting down again for the next heart, right? So that would be heart 3. This is heart 2. I'll meet you at the end. You can always fast forward and see how many hearts I did, and we'll take it from there. Okay, everyone. So I have a total of 5 hearts. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I'm going to close it up. So once you get to your 5th, after you do your 2 chain for that square, you know, as if you were going to start another heart, but we're not going to. I mean, you can go the length you'd like. You're going to turn around and you're going to do your groups. And 2 in here also. Two chain again. We're going to skip 2 space and go into the 3rd one. And here we're going to do 7 double crochets, because we're closing up this heart. Okay, and you do the same thing as if you were doing with 7 hearts, 8 hearts, 10 hearts. It doesn't matter. This is the way to close it up. Okay, so 2, 4, 6, 7, chain 2, and inside of here we used to do 4 to continue to the next heart, but because we're closing, we're doing only 3. 2 chain again, skip 1, 2 on the 3rd one, and you're going to have your 7 double crochets, which I'll be back. So I've done my 7 double crochets on this side also, and of course leaves us the 2 double crochets behind. We're going to continue to create the groups. To chain space. And again until the very last one. So we have 1, 2, 3 groups on one side, 3 on the other, 3 in the center of this heart, 7 double crochets on one side, skipping the 2 first double crochets, not doing the last 2, 2 chain space, skipping the first 2 again, 7 double crochets, skipping the 2 again, and continuing to do the groups. So now we're going to turn around. Chain 4 or 5 for some of you. So we're going to do the little blocks here again. Chain 2, create the block again. Chain 2, create the block here again. So we're going to have 3 little blocks of 3 double crochet, or groups I should say. Chain 2. We're going to skip 1, 2. On the third one we're going to create double crochet. We're going to create a group here also. Next space double crochet and next space double crochet. Chain 2. Create again your group of 3 double crochets inside of the space. Chain 2, into the next space, create your groups, and this is how we're going to proceed with this row. Chain 2, again you're going to skip 1, 2. On your third one you're going to create your 3 double crochets, 1 per space. Chain 2, and continue creating your groups until the end. Okay. Okay, so we've pretty much finished doing the centerpiece, and you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 squares, 10 groups, not squares, 10 groups of 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 squares. Okay, I'm going to come off with the off-white. Now I'm going to leave my string here. If you want to cut yours, you can go ahead. I'm just going to leave mine because I can maneuver over it instead of cutting it all the time. But you can cut your thread off if you're using a different color. And we're going to start on the corner. It doesn't matter which corner you're going to start. We're going to create 2 groups of 3 double crochet. Just make sure you're on the right side up, which is the exact side that we just finished working. I'm going to do a single and 2 chain. Inside of the same space, I'm going to create 2 more double crochet. So I'm going to have 2 groups in here of 3, chain 2, and 3 more double crochet. These are going to be the same in all 4 corners, the same way. Hope I don't have too much lighting on here. I have to always be careful with this lighting because it tends to white out. Chain 2, into the next space, we're going to create those groups of 3 double crochet. It's going to be like this all the way around. Chain 2. The only difference is creating those 2 groups on the corners. As far as the rest stays the same, I'll meet you at the other corner. Okay, so groups stay in the corners. and the rest is groups of 3 double crochet. So I'm on the corner already. I'm going to create my 3 double crochet, 2 chain. I'm just going to pull my thread back here, and I'm going to come and work still in the same corner. Whoops. Now, like I said, for some of you that are especially beginners and not used to working sometimes with a thread behind it, you can cut your thread off and do in the corner a single and 2 chains or 3 chains and create your group. It's up to you, however you feel comfortable. Okay, so now I've created my group here on this corner. Chain 2, and I'm going to work like this all the way around and just do my 2 groups of 3 double crochets in the corners only. Everything else stays the same. So you're going to skip, I should mention. So we're working always in the spaces, right? Where we have the blocks, chain 2, and into the next space, which is the little block. Okay, so I'm going to continue mine and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so I'm reaching the end of my row. I'm going to do my chain 2 coming into the 3rd chain here that we started the row, and I'm going to do the same thing. And the reason why I'm not cutting is just not to be tucking in loose ends, since I'll always have to work back and forth with the different colors. But you can cut your thread and tuck in the loose ends, okay? So I did pretty much all my corners the same with the groups. And I'm going to come and work with the blue. And it will not be any different than what we just did. I'm going to do the group in the corner and create the groups of 3 double crochets with 2 chain space between them. So it will be exactly the same thing. Now, all I'm going to do is I'm going to come in the center here and I'm going to pull my thread through it, just like that. And I'm going to work my group in here. And this saves me the time to be cutting, tucking in, because I think it's faster this way. I'm going to create my groups again in the corners only. Okay, and 2 chain, and create again my groups of 3 all the way around the same way as we just finished doing on this. Let's call this row 1 the off-white, okay, so we don't get confused. So row 1 we started the groups, and row 2 we do the groups the same way and create these blocks all the way around. So all 4 corners will have the groups. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so I've come to the end. I've closed in with a slip stitch. Now I can cut my thread. I don't need it for a little while. So in order for it not to be in my way, I'm just getting rid of it now. And I'm going to tuck in the loose end. I'm going to bring it all the way to the center here because my next row will be hiding the stitch, the thread here. And you can even make a knot on it to make sure that nothing's going to come apart. And maybe I'm going to come back to it because we're going to be doing the groups. Will be different groups, less stitching, but we're still doing groups. So I'm going to come back to my off-white, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to pull through, and I can go right in here think I need to give it a little bit more space here. Okay. And I'm going to do a slip, or one chain I should say. Start this again. Okay, so I'm going to pull through a little bit. I'm going to come back in and make a single so it can look like it's a normal stitch. Single and 2 chain. I'm going to come in and I'm going to do 1 double crochet only. I'm coming on top of where my group is and doing double crochet, 1 per space. Inside of the square here in the corner, not square, but the corner. Hope you don't have too much lighting, I hope. I'm only going to do 2 double crochet group and not 3 like we did before. 2 chain and 2 more in the same space. 1 per space here. Just like that. Now, these side ones, where we have the space here, will be only 1 double crochet, because if we put 2, it's going to pull too much on the pattern. And on the edges, this edge and this edge, we're going to alternate. We're going to do 1 space of 2 double crochet. We're going to come inside of the space here where the double crochets are. And the next space, we're doing 1 double crochet. We're going to continue to do, so we're going to alternate. We're going to do 1 square only on the edges, on both edges, not on the sides, okay? So we're going to do 1 square with 2 double crochet, 1 square with 1 double crochet. And the reason for that is for it not to be crumpling up the pattern. So we did 1 here, we're going to do 2 now. And then 1 double crochet over double crochet. Okay, we did 2, now we're going to do 1. And then again repeat double crochet over double crochet. And it's going to be like this until the edge. And then getting to the edge, we're going to repeat the same thing as we did here. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so as you can see, it stays nice and flat. I'm at the other corner. Now on this side, we're going to turn our pattern. We're working on the length. So we do our group, 2 double crochet, 2 chain, 2 double crochet. 1 per space. Now both sides, this side and this side, we're only doing 1 inside of the square in order for it not to be crumpled up or too much stitching, and it's going to be baggy and awful and horrible, okay? So inside of the space, we're doing 1 only. Next space, we're doing over the 3 double crochets. And we're going to have a nice straight flat pattern. Next space where we have the squares, 1 only. So we're going to do this all the way to the edge again, getting to the corner, the other side, getting here, right? This is the wideness. We're going to repeat exactly the same thing as we did here. We're going to do the corner, we're going to do 2 inside. Do our double crochets, 1. Do the 3 double crochets, 2 inside. Do the 3 double crochets, 1 inside, and then 2, and then 1, then 2. Okay, on the other edge. And on this side, we are going to repeat the same thing. 1 only inside. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so I'm getting to the end. Just finished doing. Don't forget the sides, which is the length, is only 1. And on the edges, we started with 2 in the space, 1. 2 in the space, 1. And that's on both sides the same way. So now I'm going to close it up with a slip stitch. I'm going to walk to the next one with a single and 2 chain. Next space, double crochet, next space, double crochet. This row all the way around will be only double crochets. So where we have the double crochets, we do double crochet over double crochet. Coming to the corners, we're doing 2 double crochet, 2 chain, and 2 more double crochet, like that. And then we're going to continue double crochet over double crochet. So nothing to it with this round. It's only double crochets over double crochets, and all 4 corners will have 2 double crochets, 2 chain, and 2 double crochets. I'm going to do mine all the way around, and I'll meet you here at the end. Okay, everyone, so I've come to the end, and I'm going to close it up with a slip stitch. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 chain. Next space, double crochet. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. We're on row 5, counting from the white. Double crochet. So we have 3 double crochets. 4, 5, and 6. That leaves us 2 double crochets out, 2 and 3, chain 3. We're going to come into the center and create a group of 6 double crochets, and all 4 corners will have the same thing. So whatever we're working now on this side, mind to tell you that the sides will only be a 2 chain space, but here on the edges will be different. 2, 4, 5, and 6. We're at the edge. Chain 3 always. I'm going to skip 1, 2. I'm coming into the third one and create 6 double crochets, 1 per space. One more. 2, 4, 6. Chain 3. Now this time, here I skipped 2. Now I'm going to skip 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to come into my fourth and create the 6 double crochets, 1 per space. Two, 4, 6, chain 3. I'm going to skip 1, 2 this time. I'm going to my third. So basically, until the edge, we're going to alternate to create these 6 groups because this is a shorter edge. So we'll have, we skipped only 2 here, we went into the third. We skipped 3, we went into the fourth. We skipped 2, we're going to go into the third as we did. Next one, we're going to skip 4. Next one, we're going to skip 2 on, not skip 4, skip 3. Next one, we're going to skip 2 only. Okay, so I'm going to continue mine, and we're supposed to end up with 7 groups at the end. Okay, so I pretty much finished it, as you can see, and I have 7 groups of 6. So the first one, we skipped 2, we went into the third. Then we skipped 3, we went into the fourth. Then we skipped the 2, we went into the third. Then we skipped 3, went into the fourth, until the end. Came to the end. We do the 6 groups after skipping. The 6 double crochets, not 6 groups. and chain 3 always. We're going to skip 1, 2. I'm coming into the third. On the sides, as the length, we only skip twice. Okay, so we're going to continue to do the group of 6. So we have 2, 4, 5, and 6. And you're going to do the same thing on the other side that we just finished doing in this edge. And of course, this side, you have to do the same thing on the other side. So now we have 6, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. So we skip 2 and into the third and create our 6 double crochets. 2, 4, 6. Again, chain 3, skip 1, 2 on the third one, and we continue on. So you're going to repeat this on the sides of the pattern, each side. We skip only 2 space, always 3 chain separation. Always do 6 on the corners, skip what you need to on the other edge, exactly like we did here. You skip 3 going to the fourth, skip 2 going to the third. So we alternate. You have 7 groups of 6 double crochet. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so I pretty much finished my rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was row 5. Going into row 6, I didn't cut my thread. I'm gonna go in with the blue and exactly on the space where I finished closing it down, I'm gonna come in and do a single and hide my thread at the same time. I'm gonna do 2 chain. This is like a double crochet. Inside of this space here, I'm going to do 7 double crochets. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. You can cut your thread if it bothers you, and you will have to grab it for the next row. 1, 2 chain. If you find it's too tight for you, then you can do a 3 chain. I'm going to continue to do 7 double crochet on the next space. This row will be like this, only 7 double crochets into the spaces of 3 chain. But like I said, if you think it's too tight, then you can do a 3 chain. 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And on my corner, I'm going to do chain 3. And I'm going to loosen it. I'm not going to tie up too much. And continue to do my 7 double crochets. Okay, so we're going to continue that all the way around. I'll meet you at the end. Only the corners have 3, but if you find it's too tight, you can do a 4 chain. And if you find it's too tight, the 2 chain here on the sides, you can do a 3 chain. I also want to mention that these groups of 6 on the sides, there's 12 groups of 6, okay? So this is what it's looking like. Okay. So we have 7 on the edges, 7 groups of 6, and on the sides we have 12. Okay, everyone. So I had to end up cutting the thread because my thread was behind and I forgot I had to bring it to the front. So no biggie. I cut it. So on the second one, we are where we left off. We're right almost at the corner, right? So we're going to work on this one here before the corner. Make sure that the blue one stays behind. Don't get it in the middle. Okay, so I'm going to do 1 single and 2 chain. Next space, we're going to do incomplete. So we're going to have 4 double crochets here, incomplete. Trying to hide my thread. So that means you don't do your first one and you don't do your last one. I'm going to close it all together now. I'm going to come in the first double crochet, but I'm going to grab back loops only. I'm going to do double crochet, next space. I'm trying to grab the 2 loops here. I don't want to grab only one. Double crochet, next space, double crochet, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me see, 2, 4, 6, 8. Just give me a second. Okay, so the last 5 double crochets, we have to add 2 together. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That means 1, 2, and 3. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So on your third one here, we're going to add 2 together. So we do the first one alone, the second one alone, 2 together. We're going to do the rest of them 2 in the same space. This is just the corner ones because the corners have to come out perfect. And we have to do the 4 corners the same way. So 2 together and in 5 double crochets. Okay, so we've closed in all the incomplete 4 double crochets, went directly into the first double crochet with 1 alone, next one 1 alone, so we have 2 double crochets alone. Then the third one on, we have 2 together. Again, we're going to come into the second, make sure that this blue one stays back there. Okay, just put it behind your finger. And we're going to do the incomplete 4 double crochets again. Okay. And again, we're going to come into the first one here. 1, 2. And we're going to do 2 together again in the same space. That means on your third double crochet, the same thing as we did here. Only the corners we're doing this. So 1 alone, 1 alone. On the third one, 2 together, 2 together, 2 together, 2 together, and 2 together. So that means we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again, exactly like we have here. And then again, we just going into the second double crochet. Make sure you don't grab the blue back part. So on the second double crochet, 1 double crochet incomplete, 2 incomplete, 3 incomplete, and the fourth one, we're going to close it all together and come into the first double crochet of the 7. Okay, everyone, so we're going to continue to work on the side. So the first 2 double crochets is going to be alone. I'm trying to grab both threads here. I don't want to pull only on one. Now, if you don't want to grab the back loops, you can just go right over the the official one, okay? So 2 double crochets alone. Next space, for the next 3 of them, we're going to do 2 together. Now, this is going to be like this throughout the whole pattern, except for the corners. We will have to do the same thing on the corners, on the 2 corners, on the other corner, the other 3 corners the same way. So 3 double crochets here. We'll take 2 together. So the first 2 is alone, and the last 2 is alone. Okay, so we have 1, 2 alone, 3 with 2 double crochet. Next one alone, and the last one alone. And then we're coming in to the second double crochet again. Make sure that you put that little blue one in the back. And we're going to do the 4 incomplete double crochet. So that means you don't do the first nor the last. So that means you have 2, 4, 5 on your hook. You take it out at once. Again, we're going to do 2 double crochets alone, 1 per space. So this is my first, my second, and the other 3 double crochets will be 2 together. So I have 2 together, 2 together, and the last 2 together, and the last 2 double crochets will be 1 alone. We're going to repeat this all the way to here, and then coming just before the corner, we have to do exactly the same thing as we did here. We have to do 1, 2 alone, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 with 2 double crochets. I'll meet you at the corner. Okay, everyone, so again, we are just before the corner, exactly how we did here. So we did 2 alone, and then the rest 2 together. So we have 1, 2 alone, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups of 2 together. I'm going to come in to the second double crochet and complete, and complete, and complete, and the fourth one incomplete. We're going to close it up. And I should have done the other way around, which was we're going to do the 5 double crochets here, the 2 in the same space. Okay, I made a mistake in the other corner, but it doesn't matter, it doesn't change anything. So we're going to do 2, 3 with 2 double crochets, 4, and the 5th one, and the last 2 alone. Because we have to do exactly the same thing on this side as we have on this side, and I did the other way around on the other side, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so these 2 together, so we have the 5 double crochets, 2 in the same space, and the last 2 alone. That's only the corner ones. Remember that. Okay. And everything else goes back to normal. So again, the 4 double crochets incomplete. We don't do the first and the last one. And we do 2 double crochets alone and 3 double crochets with 2 in the same space. So here's my first, my second double crochet on the same space, and then into the next space. I'm trying to grab my both threads here. 1, 2, and my third one, 2 double crochets, and yet the last 2 alone, double crochet alone. We're going to repeat this all the way around the same way. When you get to the corner, you must come back and do the same thing. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so I pretty much reached the end. I've closed in with a slip stitch, and I'm just going to cut my thread. And we are pretty much done. Now, we can leave it like this, or you can do a single crochet in blue, let's say whatever color you're using, all around. I'm not doing anything else to it. I think it's pretty as it is. But like I said, if you want to use whatever color you used for your centerpiece, you can do a single crochet all the way around, and it will look pretty too. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Remembering that you can make as much hearts as you want and go as big as you'd like on it. Please give a thumbs up on the video if you enjoyed, and if you haven't subscribed, please do so, it helps. Also, please consider helping the women in need. They're very desperately in need for threads, so please either donate whatever you can or contact me and I'll give you their address, and if you have extra thread or yarn, you can send it to them. Please be kind and generous. They really need it. Put yourselves in their shoes. We all here for a short time in life, and if we can help another soul, then we will do so. Okay? Thank you so much, everybody. God bless you, and I send you much love, much hugs and kisses, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. So I already have a doily with heart. If you want to create that, I'll leave the link below for the plate mat heart doily. I'll leave the link in the description box, and you can do the same colors you're using for this. You can do the plate mat. Okay, thank you so much, everybody. Until next time, God bless.